If you stand here, if you sit here, is this pleasant or unpleasant? Is your experience of simply sitting here very pleasant or unpleasant? That's a question. Every moment of your life, whatever may be happening, whatever may be happening. If you know how to keep this pleasant all the time, if you are given a choice between being pleasant or unpleasant, what's your choice? Huh? For yourself. What you want for your neighbor, that's debatable. But for yourself, it's pleasantness, isn't it? If your body is pleasant, we say, this is health. If it becomes very pleasant, we say, this is pleasure. If your mind becomes pleasant, we say, this is peace. If it becomes very pleasant, we call this joy. If your emotions become pleasant, we call this love. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it compassion. If your very life energies become pleasant, we call this blissfulness. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it ecstasy. This is all you're looking for, isn't it? No, I don't want all this, I want to go to heaven. Why? Because the advertisements have always been saying that heaven is a very pleasant place. That's the only reason you want to go there. If we told you from your childhood, God lives in heaven, but it's a horrendous place, do you want to go there? Inginde kumdidalam. You're not Tamil. You're not Tamil. We'll worship him from here only. We don't want to go to his residence, I mean, it's so bad. The advertisements have always said it's a very pleasant place. That's the reason you want to go there. If your body becomes pleasant, health and pleasure, mind becomes pleasant, peace and joy, emotions become pleasant, love and compassion. If your life energies become pleasant, blissfulness and ecstasy, if your surroundings become pleasant, that's called success. This is all you're looking for in your life, yes or no? Even if you go to a temple, this is what you're looking for, isn't it? Whether you go to the office or to the bar or to the temple, this is all you're looking for, yes or no? Pleasantness inside, pleasantness around you. Pleasantness around you is subject to many things. You may want to create pleasantness here, just one person can stand up and create unpleasantness if they want, yes? Outside pleasantness needs cooperation from many people. But to keep this one pleasant, it's just you and you alone, isn't it? The problem is, you have not explored the technology, you think it will just happen. It is like, sometimes if a monkey comes and presses the the keyboard of a computer, you don't know, maybe a great formula may come out. E is equal to mc squared may come out. But that's not the thing, isn't it? You arrived at it through your intelligence is one thing, by chance something fell your way is another thing, isn't it? If something comes by in your life by chance, you always live in fear that you may lose it. If you know how to make it happen, then you don't live in that fear. What happens within you must be determined by you. What happens around you, you have a stake, but it's never decided totally by you, isn't it? Yes? The situations in which you live are not 100% yours. Whether you're managing a company or a nation or just a home, or even if there's just two people in the house, does everything happen the way you want it? No. Does it happen? No. It doesn't happen. Nobody in this world happens 100% the way you want them. Not your wife, not your children, not your parents, not your friends, definitely not your boss, nobody around you, not even your dog. These days they do their own thing. Nobody happens 100% the way you want them. But that's not the problem. The problem is, this one is not happening the way you want him. That is the biggest problem. If this one person happened the way you want him, would you keep him blissful or miserable? Blissful. Now there is substantial scientific and medical evidence to show you that if you stay pleasant within you, 24 hours, if you stay in a certain state of pleasantness within you, in 24 hours, the sharpness of your intellect could be enhanced by 100% in 24 hours' time. Now I'll ask you a very simple question. How many of you can truthfully say, at least one 24-hour segment in all these years of living, you passed without a moment of anxiety, agitation, irritation, anger, nothing, just blissfully, 24 hours. Has it happened? So if you cannot even create one day the way you want it, there is a serious problem here, isn't it? If one day did not happen the way you want it, understandable. Not even one day happened the way you want it, this is a serious issue, isn't it? But people believe by fixing the outside situations they are going to be okay. It's not going to happen like that. You can never fix any outside situation 100%. Only if you are a tyrant, a total tyrant and pig-headed, you can believe my situations are perfect. If you're an intelligent human being, you know it can always be improved many fold than the way it is right now. Yes? But inside situation, you can make it happen 100% the way you want it. You cannot make any segment of the world 100% the way you want it. You cannot make any other human being 100% the way you want them, but you can make this one person the way you want yourself to be. If this one person is the way you want him to be, you would definitely keep him blissful, there's no question about it. If people were using 25% of their potential instead of 2%, what a fantastic world you would be living in. If they use 100%, that would be different altogether. Too utopian. Even if they use 10% instead of 2%, you would have a fabulous life here, isn't it? But human beings are not paying any attention to this. They think it's all there. We already looked at this. What you see, what you hear, what you experience, everything is happening within you. You don't know what's happening here. You only know what's happening here. If you touch something, if you touch the glass which is in front of you, you think it is cold. It is not cold or hot the way you think it is. Because your body temperature is in a certain way, if you touch it, it may feel cold. If you lower your body temperature and touch it, it'll feel warm. If you become minus something, it will be red hot. Yes or no? So you have no clue how the existence is. You know it only the way you perceive. If this perception is pushed to its limits, then you have an insight into the way the existence is. That is when true technology will unfold. Technology… See, everything that you have done in the name of technology on this planet is just a small imitation of this gadget, isn't it so? Yes or no? It's just a small imitation of this gadget. Everything that you could do is already there. You just have to look at it. But there is no… people have never looked at this because all their five senses, right now all your five senses are outward bound. You can see what's around you, you can hear what's around you, but you cannot turn your eyeballs inward and scan yourself. You can hear this, if I just do this, you can hear this. But so much activity in this body, you cannot hear it. If an ant crawls upon this hand, you can feel it. So much blood flowing, can you feel it? In the very nature of things, sense organs are outward bound because these sense organs were created just for your survival process. The moment you came out of your mother's womb, the sense organs opened up because without it you wouldn't survive. But you already said, survival is not good enough for you. If survival is not good enough for you, you need a little bit of striving to turn on other dimensions of perception, which is not very far away. You don't have to go and sit in a Himalayan cave to do this. To turn inward, where should you go? Can you do it here in Kollam? Yes or no? Can you do it at home? Can you do it in your office? Wherever you go, at least you're coming with yourself, isn't it? That's an advantage, you know, the package comes. You don't have to carry anything, it comes with you. So, Turning inward does not mean you have to be in a certain geographical location. Wherever you are, one can do this. But it is not being done because people are befooled by the senses. The five senses are useful only for survival process. If you try to do something more with it, it will only frustrate you because it cannot go beyond survival process. So the process of what we are referring to as inner engineering is to turn this inward. Turning this inward does not mean you have to deny the outward. The idea of doing yoga or any spiritual process has always been, first thing is, what will you give up? Spiritual process is not about giving up. The question is, what are you willing to take on? Do you want to live on the surface or do you want to know the whole of it? If you, at least before you fall dead, I'm sorry, it's not me, I'm not cursing you. With all my blessings, you will still fall dead one day. I bless you with a long life, but you will fall dead one day, isn't it? Is it okay? It's not my doing, don't look at me like that. Before you fall dead, whether you're going to know the cosmos or not, it doesn't matter. At least you must know this piece of life in its entirety, otherwise it's a wasted life. Especially those of you, you're calling yourself technology. How can you not be interested in this technology? This is the technology, isn't it? Even technologically, everything else is secondary compared to this one. This is the technology, this is the gadget, this is the being in your life because everything that you know, everything that you experience is only happening within this. The world, the galaxies exist within this for you, not there. You don't know what's there. Most of the stars that you see are actually don't exist. You're all… the way you perceive it is the way you perceive it. So, it's time. People who are really… if you're really serious about technology, you must turn inward. We could help you do that.